It's not something which was created 4.5 billion years ago and we're seeing it today as it was. We knew that the Earth has changed, but it turns out that even the small worlds in the solar system have changed since their formation and are continuing to change.
The Voyager missions have flown hundreds of millions of miles beyond Mars, out beyond the most distant planets of our solar system. They have sent back some of the most startling images of the entire space age. The rings of Saturn were revealed in stunning new detail.
Suddenly we found out that there were hundreds of thousands of rings around Saturn. And those rings weren't all circular. Some of them were elliptical and nobody understood how that could be. Some of them looked like they were braided and nobody understood how that can be. What people had thought of before those pictures as being just this nice, simple demonstration of the way that objects march around in Newtonian orbits around Saturn, instead suddenly became this incredible gravitational ballet with all sorts of wonderful effects that people did not really fully understand.
Voyager also captured the violent drama of Jupiter. This planet is so massive, as large as all the other planets combined, that it generates its own heat, adding fuel to its hurricane-like storms. The biggest is called the giant red spot.
That storm system is 2 to 3 Earths across, and it's just a storm system. What we discovered with the Voyager was that that was just the largest of literally dozens of huge hurricane-like storm systems that form and disappear and then reform in Jupiter's giant atmosphere.
Voyager discovered what we could not know from Earth: 3 completely new moons. Jupiter has 16, not 13. We thought that one moon, Io, was a cold, lifeless rock.
And now all of a sudden, out in the outer solar system, here's this dumpy little moon orbiting around Jupiter, and it's got volcanoes going off all over the place. And these volcanoes are so amazing, blasting material out across the surface of the planet, so prolific that the entire surface of the planet remakes itself every few years.
But I don't really think people expected it to look the way it did and to have multiple volcanoes going off all at the same time and to have the plumes extruded hundreds of kilometers up above the surface. And for it to look as strange as it looks, it's a very strange place.
And now the Voyager spacecraft have gone beyond our own solar system and are heading towards interstellar space. Out there between the stars, NASA believes they'll report back what they can for perhaps another 15 or 20 years. Gazing out beyond even these spacecraft is the Hubble Space Telescope. Positioned in the Earth's orbit, it is the most powerful optical telescope exploring space today. In time, the Hubble telescope may help us comprehend the most fundamental questions of the universe. This is the Eagle Nebula, an immense cloud of gas and dust where stars and planets are being formed.
The Eagle Nebula is a reasonably nearby stellar nursery. This particular dust cloud, the largest one, is something like 1 light year tall, 6 trillion miles. So this is an immense region interior to which our stars are being born and planets are being born.
You look at that picture, and in fact, people do look at that picture and say, wow, who painted that? And the answer is nobody painted that. That's something that's really, honest to goodness, out there. That's part of the universe that we live in.
The Hubble telescope is a unique tool, helping us to understand the very origin and evolution of the universe and our place in it.
There are more galaxies in the sky than there are stars in our own galaxy. Each one of those galaxies being its own collection of billions or tens of billions or hundreds of billions of stars, each one of which is the result of the same processes that led to the formation of our sun and our Earth and our life. Given that, it seems very unlikely that life has not found a foothold somewhere else in the universe as well.
We are all from exploding stars. Those are the things that make the carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen and other elements. Now, that's happened throughout the universe. To have that just something special here. Well, it's impossible. It's just like it's impossible that this is the only star in the universe, our sun.
And I think exploring space, looking out beyond that into our solar system, is going to get us to the point of what is this all about? Why are we here?
Why are we here? How did we get here? The eternal questions. The first step on the moon, as awesome as it seemed at the time, only encouraged us to go farther.
If we decided to go to the moon and achieve that in less than half a generation, there's no reason we couldn't make a similar choice and travel to Mars, travel to one of the moons of Jupiter, even travel outside the solar system. Apollo gave us confidence.
I believe that we have to find some way to express ourselves as a world, and I believe that is through the continuing process of exploration and discovery.
We're about to enter a new millennium in which we can say with confidence that people will walk on other planets, and they might even go to other stars. And as long as humanity exists, we'll be going out into space.
40 years after President Kennedy launched America on a voyage of discovery, there is no turning back.
Just as the Renaissance changed forever humankind's perspective of itself, the space age is also changing forever our perspective of ourselves. We will never again be able to view ourselves as the very parochial little creatures who live within a world defined by what's over the next hill. We're part of the universe, and you can't take that back.